everybody, this is Diane. My main focus for today is to clean in here and in my office. But I do want to just let you know what the next journals will be and talk about some supplies that I'll use for them, because I was anxious to get stuff out and start looking at stuff. So anyway, last night I actually pulled these pages out and trimmed the white off. I printed these a long time ago. These are 3 different kits from Sharm Studios, and I will link it below. I'll link her shop. Maybe I'll link the 3 individual kits. I don't know. But there are 6 pages in each kit, so there's no pockets or ephemera or anything. It's just 6 pages. Well, 6 main pages, and then there are more pages with lines or 4 backgrounds. So like I said, I printed these a long time ago. When I first bought them, I was anxious to print them. So I don't remember how many actual pages come in each kit. So let's take a look. These are, this one is an embroidery kit. So it features old images of embroidery books or instructions, some images of ladies doing the work, and some images of the results and the materials. So this is like a cut work embroidery and some pretty colorful floss there, and the lined paper. Now this was when I still had my old printer and it pulled this page out wrong. I think it's the only page that happened to, unbelievably. At first I was pretty annoyed when I saw it last night when I was cutting pages, and then I remembered, oh, that was my old printer. So here is a medieval lady or Renaissance lady with an embroidery frame doing a tapestry. It says English embroidery 12th century, and this pretty embroidery here. And I love this ring, rainbow ring of embroidery floss with more cut work. This young lady looks like she's early 1900s, sitting on her porch steps doing some embroidery with her little sewing basket next to her. So that's 3 different backgrounds we've seen, or backing papers. This is a mother teaching her little girl how to embroider. Oh, there's another one that happened too. That's the same as the last one we saw. She's examining some embroidered linens, pulled them out of a chest. I don't think we saw that one yet. Oh, so that's 4. And we did see that one. So it looks like 4 backing fabrics, papers. I'm going to shut my door. The furnace is about to come on. Okay, so that was the embroidery set. This one is cross stitch, which is a form of embroidery, but it's a distinct form of embroidery. So this one has a folk art look to it with this lady in her traditional costume. Look at these strips of fabric that would hang down the front of her skirt, and what a wonderful opportunity for color and embroidery, showing off your needlework skills. Get the pretty cross stitch there. She's got some beautiful embroidery on her dress. That's the one we just saw. So I guess there were several that got pulled out wrong, but I'll just use some sort of a trim or washi tape or something to cover that. Now this was in the other kit with the mother teaching the little girl, but it was just a little illustration. But look at that pretty cross stitch there. And this looks like a Mexican blouse. She was in the other kit too. That's so pretty. She looks sad. Okay, that one's cross stitch, and this one is lace making. You can see her little bobbins for weaving the lace. And there's an illustration. This one isn't using bobbins, it's a needle. Some sort of, it looks like a knitting needle, but she's got a second piece to use to wrap things around. I don't know how to do it. Never attempted it, never read about it, but this one is using bobbins and this one is using 2 other tools. I think that's what these little pieces were called. I'm not sure. Look at all the fancy lace on her dress. How to make lace. So this is a lace making pillow. It looks like a bolster pillow. It's got some pins stuck in it that are sticking up, and you kind of wrap your threads around the lace or in the pins in a certain manner, and it creates the lace. So they are the beautiful pages. I will be making 3 separate journals. I will not be keeping any of them, so 3 will go in my shop, and they will have 6 pages, 6 decorated digital pages in each journal. So I had to figure out what kind of cover I wanted to use, and I decided to pull out these plain covers from library books. Sometimes I go get a bag full of books at the library for $1 that might have the right cover size. I usually look for covers that are smaller than this, but this is just about the best size you can get for a digital kit that's like a full-size digital kit. And after you trim the white off the edges, the cover is still big, but the next size down, the typical like standard sizes, would be too small. So I would just make scrapbook paper and other pages fit the cover better, and then these would be inside. So I have 4 pulled, and I only need 3, but I have to decide what colors I want to use and how I will decorate them. Now, I just saw a week or so ago a journal that somebody made, and I can't remember who, but it was a beautiful vintage book cover, and it had this beautiful embossed square on it. I think it had gilding on it. It was gorgeous. And then she decorated it with a piece of embroidered linen up here and a little bit of fabric down here. And I thought, well, that would be perfect. So I decided, I don't have the beautiful embossed cover, so I decided to try just embossing cardstock and trying that out. So I just did a little bit of embossing today. I have some embossing folders that I haven't even used yet. So this one is a Stampin' Up! One, and I think you can see the pattern. And I thought it was so pretty, and it looks like it's perfect for this. Looks like it's crochet doily motifs, like it's an Afghan or something. So, but when I embossed it, I just used a regular 8.5 by 11 cardstock in cream color. I don't know if you can see because it's not a deep emboss. Which way does it go? I think it could go either way, but I think it's supposed to be this way. Let me see. I can't get it open. There we go. So they're not deeply etched, so it's a very subtle pattern. But I'm gonna rub some color over it to bring out the pattern more. But I do like that. especially for this theme of journal. And the other ones I did were 3D embossed. And I think these are both Stampin' Up! Also. It says Sizzix. Sometimes, so I don't know. Sometimes Sizzix does for Stampin' Up! But it doesn't say Stampin' Up! On it anywhere, so it might not be. Anyway, it's a 3D emboss, which means they're deeply etched. So what I did was, I'm going to demonstrate because I have one more piece to emboss. Do I have it here? I don't, but, oh yeah, I see it. I'm going to emboss it for you. So what I did was, I took my spray bottle of water and sprayed my piece of cardstock. I cut it to 5 inches because these are less than 5 inches, about 4.5 inches. So I cut my paper to 5 inches wide, sprayed it with water, and then put it through the embosser. And I do that with the 3D emboss folders because they're tougher on the paper. They force the paper into a deeper design, and it can crack your paper. So if you wet the fibers first, they're more malleable. So I did 2 of the same design, and then I did one of this design. Look at how gorgeous that is. Can you see the design? Probably see it better on here. And you'll see it better when I add some color to it. So I'm going to do another one like this. My paper dried out though, so I have to wet it again. I just wanted to kind of let you know the sandwich, that's what they call it when you emboss, that I had to use for each of these. And that only applies to the Sizzix. I don't know what your machine would require, but I mean, you could try the same sandwich and see if it works. So let's see, with this one, I had to have both of the tabs, can't see, both of the tabs down on the plate. I tried it with the one tab off, but it didn't work. So put both tabs down, and I didn't wet the paper for this one, but I just put the paper inside my, I've already trimmed this, so it was a little bit bigger. It stuck out the sides. Put that on next, and then I did need to add my shim, which is just 2 thin pieces of cardstock, and they are very shiny now because they've been through this embossing machine many times. I'm not going to run it through because I've already embossed it, but it wasn't thick enough. Oh yeah, I had to put this, sorry, the plate. So it's just the platform with both tabs, the folder with the paper in it, the cutting pad, and then I had to add these 2 pieces of cardstock. It's amazing what a difference that thin layer makes. Ran it through, and then I ran it back out, so it went through twice. So it's different with a 3D because they are thick. So with that, I did have to take this tab off, pretty sure. Now I have to try to remember. And I'm going to wet my paper here. Put that down and put this on. Let me see how thick that feels. I have to stand up so I can get it started. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty tight, but it's not too tight. Sorry, I've got stuff behind me that it's in my way. Or behind this machine. Now I'm going to run it back through. Tim Holtz recommends, I'm sorry if that was too loud, I'm right next, my mouth is right next to the phone. Tim Holtz recommends running the 3D ones 2 or 3 times through. So look how beautiful that is. Get this out of my way. So then I was experimenting with how I would color these. I don't have any more of, at least I couldn't find it, any more of the pots that you would stick your fingers in, like a paste, a gilding paste. Stick your finger in and then rub it on. They dry out so fast, and apparently I just don't have any more. But I brought a few supplies in and I was experimenting with them. So I have these inks that I got on clearance at Hobby Lobby, and I've never used them. So I thought, well, let's just try them. I think they're a no. I have brighter colors, but this is what I used. I have some scraps of embossing, embossed cardstock that I just experimented on. So this one, I used this color, which is antelope brown, and it is such an ugly color. That's a no. I'm thinking I tried the gray too, but I'm not sure where that sample is. So we're not using the ink. The first thing I experimented with was these radiant pearls. I've had these for a long time. And I got them when I got some of them. I'm not sure if these are the same ones, but when I was making cards, and I ordered them from Stampin' Up. I don't think they carry them anymore. So I painted 2 different colors on here. The pale yellow, I think, is, oh, these are the colors I used. Lemon chiffon. And then this, I don't know if it shows any color at all to you, but it's a very pale pink. And I don't remember if it was icy mocha or petal pink. But after I just painted a little bit on, I just wanted to try a couple colors to see what I liked. And then I sprinkled on some clear embossing powder because it's sticky. And I think it takes a long time to dry. And I think when I used them before, I just always put embossing powder on them. Maybe they never do completely dry. I don't really remember the properties of these radiant pearls. So that's what I did though, and I like it. So that's a possibility. I have a few other colors. And, oh, this was the gray, but it still was, the dropper was tainted with this color because this dropper didn't work. And this one did. Let me try it now, because I just used the other a dropper that I have. It's just a clean, empty dropper, but it was still tainted with that ugly brown color. This has such a short dropper, it can't possibly go to the bottom of this jar. Oh, that's much better than that. And you can spread it out and thin it and make it lighter. So a gray would be a nice, subtle, neutral color. And then this, which is also a nice possibility. I like this and the radiant pearls the best. This is this. And this is watercolor from American Crafts, and it's the Vicky Boughton brand. It came with a brush. I probably have that in here somewhere, but I just used a paintbrush. I already put water on 3 of the colors to soften them. So I did this. I just put the water on the gold and then immediately used it. So it's very pale. And this one I did after it had been sitting for a bit. I had to interrupt the phone or my camera because my daughter was calling. So I'm back. So anyway, we were talking about this watercolor set. And I just have a glass of water here and a paintbrush. Look at that beautiful golden color. So that might be a good one to use on these. And you know, if I paint one of my pieces that I want to use on a cover and I don't like it, it's just a piece of cardstock and I can make another one. So that is this gold color. It might look different when it dries. And I want to try the pink and the blue. I have a blue cover that I might use and a burgundy. That's pretty bright. It might be brighter than I want. These are not vintage colors. Vicki Boughton does bright colors, but I do like that pink. Let's see if I mix a little blue, gold with it, like on top. If I let that dry and then brush some gold on top, that might be pretty. And the blue. And they have a little shimmer to them when they dry. So I'll set that aside and let it dry. The other medium that I used was the Bria Reese watercolor creams. And I used this color hoping it would be a gold, but it's a little bit, it's not very gold. It's more just it does have a little bit of shimmer, but it's like a golden yellow color that I'm not sure if I actually like. And I don't know what this is. Oh, I think it was this. So let's try this. I thought this would be a tan color, but I think it ended up being this pink. So to do this, I put my wet paintbrush, it's pretty saturated, right on this. Oh, I tried doing that, but then I ended up, I'll show you. It's pretty pale, and I could, you know, try to get more pigment on there, but then I ended up just rubbing it on my piece, and then you can use the paintbrush to spread that color around. So I'm just playing with possibilities right now, and I spend a lot of time mulling things over as far as covers go when I'm going to start a new project, unless I'm just using a book cover with the picture that I want. If I have to actually design a cover, whether it's fabric or something like this, I mull it over for a while. So I think that the best possibilities are this one, this, I've got to get that pink out of there. And maybe the Radiant Pearls that with the embossing powder on it. So those are possibilities. So what my concept for these journals, I'm thinking what it'll be is mainly writing space, but of course there will be decorative elements. I would like to use a lot of ledger pages, vintage ledger and maybe some newer ledger too. And of course there will be 3 signatures. There will be 2 of these pages in each signature, and probably some, not probably, there will be some scrapbook paper. And I pulled out some vintage magazine papers. These are digitals, these are vintage. So these actually are books that I had, and they were very big books and I couldn't scan them. It's Illustrating Pictorial Review Patterns. That's what it says up here. So the catalog was, or magazine was, Pictorial Review. So I took it to the UPS store right down the road from me, and they could scan it for me, and they scanned it onto a stick that I gave them. And in order to fit it, like the full page in printing, I had to do it in this size, which is good. I mean, it reduced from this great big page to this size. So I might use some of these pages in these journals. Maybe take 1 per signature and put them in the journal. And I want to make ephemera with these. I don't have a lot of the lace making and embroidery images from vintage magazines, but I have these. So these are both, I think these are both from a front cover. This one's from 1926. And it looks like she's making doll clothes. She's just cutting up fabric. So she's not actually embroidering, but yeah, that looks like a magazine cover too. But she's sitting in a chair doing stitching. So I might use that too, I don't know. But I have these other images of like little patterns and instructions for needlework that you could buy. This lady is making a little girl's pinafore, but it's got some lace on it, so I thought I could use that. There's an ad for a thimble. The Book of Dressmaking and Embroidery, perfect. Some scissors. I saw the word rickrack here, and this doesn't look like rickrack, but it says rickrack braid is used as a body of this edging. So maybe, I don't know. Anyway, these are homemade laces, I guess, and look at that. Here's some more. This beautiful piece of embroidery designs. These old magazines from the 30s and 20s have a lot of them have a full page with the Royal Society embroidery package outfits. So this is part of one of those pages. So those are the vintage items that I have, and definitely I can include vintage linens and laces too. So as I mentioned, I want to use the idea of, I'll just cut one of these off its spine. I'm going to create new spines anyway. So then I would take one of these. I don't know which ones I'll use, but have it there. And this one's already cut to size, so I'm just going to put that there so we know the size. And I have embroidery. So for the embroidery journal, I would look for a sample of embroidery to put in the corner. Hers was, the one that I saw was a rounded piece, so that would be nice to find because it just looked really nice. So something like that. That would look nice in the corner, and then have a little more fabric down here. And then I would look for some cross stitch to use on the cross stitch journal. I'll leave this out because that's a good possibility. I'll just leave some pieces that I want to consider. There's cut work, and that's included in the embroidery set because there's embroidery around the holes that you cut. Oh, I think there might be some cross stitch in here. I just grabbed all of these out of the drawer that I have them in. So this is cross stitch here. It's a very simple design, but it would be pretty to accent the cover. And the cover and the accent pieces that I choose would determine what color I put on the embossed piece. And I believe these are cross stitch. Yeah, all those little stitches are X shaped. This looks like cross stitch. Yes. So I do have some cross stitch samples to choose from. I also have some digitals of embroidery and lace, like journal cards and stuff I could use. Okay, so that takes care of the embroidery and the cross stitch journals. At least it gives me some things to choose from. And now I need the lace making one. Oh, here's some more. Let me just look at these real quick. That could be a nice corner. And I could use some of these pieces to make pockets and things, or flips. Okay, now I want to look for something that looks like handmade lace. This looks like it could be. It's very tattered, but I might be able to use it inside the journal. I would consider that crochet. So things like this I could put on the front cover. Look at that delicate lace around the edge of this. That could be manufactured, but I don't know. And it doesn't matter. I just want to go for the effect. These are, I don't know, I guess, is this considered lace or crochet? It's beautiful, and I wouldn't want to attempt making it. This would be considered lace. I don't know if it's handmade, but it is old and gorgeous, and that would be pretty on the corner of a book cover. This. Oh, this even has a tassel. I might have to do something like that on the spine. These are made with a thicker yarn, thicker thread, but I don't know if they're crocheted with crochet needles or if they are made with lace making technique. I've got lots of stuff to choose from, so I'll set these aside over by my sewing machine. And one last thing I wanted to do was consider some scrapbook paper. What I would like is to open each signature with a cardstock piece. And I have two, I think I have two pads here to look at. This is part of this one, broke apart. This is a pretty and delicate pad called Vintage Floral from the Paper Studio. So this one, I don't know if you can tell because it's pretty pale, but it's got like a patchwork design. I do like that. I'm going to take that out as a possibility. It's a map. Just some pretty flowers. It doesn't have to depict laces or anything like that. I like this damask design. I'm not crazy about the color because it's purple. Oh, that kind of looks like a lace design right there. I like that one. And this has lace in the background. Lace right there. I can take a lot of possible pages. I just like that flourish design because it will depend on what colors are going in each journal, which papers I choose. This pad's split in half. Looks like poppies there. That's pretty. How well you can see these patterns, but it's a floral pattern. It could be a lace, a pattern on a lace. I love this. And I have another pad to look at too. That looks like a lace pattern. And then I have this one. I'm worried about this. I'm gonna hit that paintbrush and knock it out and throw water all over. I know me. This is another Paper Studio book and it's called Floral Leaves. And you know, I'm sure their prices went down because this is $11.99 and they used to be close to $20 for a pad this size. 60 sheets of cardstock. The other one was $12.99 too. All right, that's a pink pattern. That one's a little bolder than I want. I like the ticking design. I like that. I think I'm just going to stick with the first pad. Oh, I like the pink ticking. This is a wonderful pad. I love it, but I don't think I'm going to use it in this. And then I would like to have one page in each signature of the thinner paper. Oh, look at that. Opened right up to a page of lace. Let's see if there's other colors of that lace in here. That's nice too, the text. I'll pull one of those out. Looks like handwritten letters. I would need 9 pages because I'll have 3 books with 3 signatures each. That could be nice. It depends on what colors I'm using. I can revisit these pads of paper after I have a better color scheme in my head. So you're just seeing the beginning thought process. There's that lace in a mint green. You're seeing the beginning thought process of, ooh, look at that. Planning these journals. Planning any journals. Of course, the beginning process is when I'm mulling it over in my head when I'm trying to sleep at night. I'm not going to take you there with me. This is the same pattern as that darker teal. That's pretty. And I can go back if I only took out one of each design. But I can decide what I want and then go back for more if I want to. So yeah, I think these lace pages are definitely going to be in the signatures. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 different ones plus the letters. And I need 9 pages. So, and there's either 2 or 3 of each. It's perfect. I think that's all that I wanted to do in here. Now I can put all these things together, put them away, and have them ready for when I actually want to start on the journal. So I can spend the rest of the day. I have to run some errands, get groceries and stuff. But I can spend some time cleaning in here. I hope to clean in here and in my office and have it all done and ready. My daughter, when she called, said that she's going to pick up her son, my grandson, who's 18 and living further downstate, 3 hours away. And we didn't even see him for Christmas. He moved in with a family of friends. The mother is there, but some siblings that he's friends with. And, you know, experiencing his independence. So he didn't come home for Christmas, but he's missing his mom, and he said he misses his grandma, which I was very happy to hear. And so she's going down to get him today. She was so excited. They didn't even make the plans. He called her because he missed her, and they talked, and then the plan was made that he would go get her, that she would go get him. So I'll probably get to see him tomorrow. So I'm not sure how much crafting I'll get done, because I don't know even how long he's going to be here. He does have a job where he is. So I don't know, but it's exciting. I'm very excited. Now I have to wrap his Christmas present. So anyway, that was all unnecessary talking. But I hope that you are looking forward to this project. And I don't know what the next video will be, but I'll see you then. And I hope that you're having a creative day. Bye.